Welcome back to Something to Talk About. My friend Dee Cruz is here with me. We became like real fast friends early into meeting each other. I don't know how that happens. Sometimes you just, you know when a woman has no room for any more chicks, and then, sorry, and then all of a sudden, like, a couple of them roll by and you're like, okay, I can make room for Sharon Davis and Dee Cruz. There's no question about it. And
I know.
so,
we love you
friendship,
so much.
turns into family, and that's how that goes. But that's not why I'm interviewing her. But she's got an interesting position, and you've trained a lot. You've met, like I said, you parlayed, a job opportunity into something that you can take with you, skills that you could take with you for as long as they're viable.
Right.
And so far in the world of emergency response, you cannot. The training that one gets. I remember you came by the station once and you did the active shooter. That seems like that pales in comparison to what we're dealing with.
Right.
And then there was the one spring where the relentless onslaught of news releases, because at any moment now North Korea was going to beat us up.
Right. A lot of times when you get put in a position where all eyes are on you, it's kind of like your position, Patty. At 6 o'clock in the morning, everyone turns on the television, everyone turns on the radio, they turn on your app. When I was off island, I was listening to you at 4 p.m. on the East Coast. All eyes are on you. And it really matters what you say and how you say it for people to just believe in what it is you're trying to put across. Emergency management is right up there next to news media, because everything you say it matters to somebody's life. It's going to either save someone's life or make somebody's life feel better, or make somebody's life, because we're always teaching about preparedness. And a lot during the North Korea back in 2013, the first time around, when it came around the second time, I had folks come up to me and tell me, I remember you back in 2013 when you used to come to the schools, when you came to Mount Carmel to talk, when you came up to I think it was a gymnasium in Daejeon to speak about North Korea. I was really relieved that you were there again the second time around, because now I know that, and she
was it a continuity thing?
She even said that, she said to me, she said, she goes, I know because you made a joke in 2013. Does she remember this joke a long time ago? She's like, I remember you said, if you see me at the airport saying goodbye to my dad and my daughter, get everybody, get all your family off the island, like get everyone out. And to me, when I hear stories like that and stuff, it feels really good. Me moving from a very fast pace, it's almost like going from NFL back down to like high school. You know what I'm saying?
College football.
Or college football, NCAA. So when you go over to, when I'm at the AGs, it doesn't matter. To me, it doesn't matter. I feel it's the same, maybe not the same tempo, but in that office, you're still saving lives.
Okay. Now, we have become so sensitive to things popping off. And after 9/11, we could not have found in this country how ill prepared we were. Which spurned all of these levels of security on the home front. Right. Yeah. Is there such a thing as being like over prepared? Because I felt like during that time in 2013, I think you were putting out like 2 releases a day, like, in case the bomb comes, and we're like, oh my God. I mean, to the point where I will tell you one, and I think I told you this before, you were putting out advisories, and one of the advisories was, in the event that there is something that happens, do not rush to go pick your kids up at school, because the schools have been trained to shelter in place and your child would be safe. And there was a resounding, are you freaking kidding me?
That's the reason why I had to go talk to the parents at the schools, was particularly because I had put myself in those shoes. I'm going to have some.
Could you imagine keeping a mother away from driving across town to get her kid at
But what
Carbolino Elementary
what I
School?
try to explain to them is, can you imagine me explaining to your daughter the accident or something other
That's
that had
true, too.
happened after, and how would your daughter feel growing
Yeah.
up that your mom, that their parent died on their way to save you?
Okay. And
So,
how
once
do you?
once it got to that, when you start
I mean,
to
the
think
emotion
real,
is though. I mean, it's all about the emotion,
It is.
right?
but
and you-
let
but
me
the-
do
well-
my job to help you.
Okay.
Do yours.
But
that
will
that
the
was just
public
it.
ever really, like when you go to these conferences and you talk about public's response to emergencies, is there a consensus or even close to a consensus among people who are in these conferences that the public gets it? That when you say, we have trained, your school to shelter in place, your child will be fine until the dust settles. Does everyone in that room agree that that message is resoundingly, accepted, and you're
You're
no
never
problem?
going to find 100% across the board. There's a lot of times
Yeah.
the way people, the perception of how the message is across. But if the one message, I'm talking about different agencies, agree on one message, and something's got to be. Everybody, at least in those different agencies, they all came together and they sat down. It's not just one person leading. Now it's a group leading. You're going to start to think, okay, all these agencies have trained together. All these agencies have that one message. All these agencies have practiced, and should anything to go off, something. But you still, to this day, that's the reason why I think it's so important to train, especially in offices that aren't ready.
Yeah.
You got to do. That's why I came down to your office, and I'm like, Patty, have you done an active shooter training? And you were like, why would we do it here? And I'm like, are you guys
Yeah.
disgruntled employees? But you even saw it when we did the active shooter in your office.
No,
A
you
lot
know
of
what?
times people were like, where is the stairwell? I didn't even know there was a stairwell
Oh,
back
yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it
No,
opens
you're right.
up a
Now,
lot
my
of.
daughter Cerise, Cerise, she works up at
course.
Reventex, and they had an active shooter training there. And there's a lot of nooks and crannies in there. And she said,
Yeah.
no matter how many times that they came to talk to us about this, event happening,
Right.
when they told us that this was going to be real live, not real life,
But somebody was about to shoot off some.
yeah,
some-
and that they were warned, like, hey, this is going to be
Yeah.
training. And then they actually had somebody who was in the scenario.
Right.
She said, oh, it's so much different than a tabletop exercise where, your strategy is to hide under your desk or
Yes.
try to fight. I mean, it was
Right.
somebody literally coming through the place.
Right.
Was the idea also, I asked this of George Charfus, last
My
time I
former
talked to-
boss?
Yeah. I said, is it also designed to find the weakest link? Like in the training, you're going, the person who's freaking out. The person who's freaking out in the entire office pool goes,
You're
we
like,
need to keep an eye on that person.
stay away from her. She's gonna.
Or everybody run to that person because she's going to be most likely to freak.
Yeah, she's gonna. Like,
Yeah.
if you're hiding with her, pay special attention. She's gonna give away your hiding
Yeah,
spot.
when you're voted most likely to
Muzzle
freak out.
her.
by-
Yeah, muzzle her the moment something pops off.
But is that
she's
part of
going
the
down.
operation is to
No.
identify? Okay, so I thought you were singling out people like,
No, gosh,
Joni
no,
Bloss
no.
over here is going to have an issues. Everybody go run and help her. All right. Well, do you think?
It's like put her in her own office with a deadbolt. We want her to, because we know she's
Leave
not-
her with the phone.
Leave her
Okay.
with the deadbolt because we know she's not going to save anybody else but herself. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, that's not.
Okay, now, because we only have a couple minutes
Yeah,
left,
no,
is there?
just to go off of you. No
is
one
the-
really. That's mozzarella stick.
Okay.
No one really knows down to earth what you're going to do unless it actually happens.
Is Guam prepared? Yes or no?
For an active shooter,
No, for like a, terrorist attack.
I hope so. I hope everybody out there takes our my former website or takes Homeland website and how we would say, stay informed, make a
prepare
plan,
yourself.
and we're resilient.
We are.
We are resilient. We're going to
Okay,
be here.
you ordered like these things, and I'm just
I
trying to
love
figure out
these.
what is going on with this.
So,
This is
okay, I don't know what this is though. This one right here kind of looks like spaghetti sauce. Well, it looks kind of like this.
Mozzarella sticks, spaghetti sauce, that goes together.
Oh,
We're
there's
good.
a huge old mushroom in there.
These are my, yeah, Dee and I, we can dissect food and whack it out pretty good. So thanks to King's for providing the spread. You have that, I don't even know if you've tried that Italian cheese bread, but
I'm
that's
gonna take that
basically.
home.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Well, so much
Can
for
we
me
take
having
it
a
to
bite.
go?
I'm good.
Or you can have one.
No, I'm good. Thank you so much, my friend. Good luck on your next
Oh,
job.
thank you so much. And it's so, when you call, I will show up.
Does this count as treating? Because we do better.
No.
This doesn't count
Yeah,
as
this
treating?
doesn't count. You're treating next. I treated yesterday.
Yeah. One time we went to a restaurant and both of our credit cards were declined.
Okay. No. Her credit card.
No, and then hers was after.
She broke the
was pretty
machine.
bad.
She
Yeah.
broke the machine.
Thanks a lot for joining us. A little bit of friend talk over meal over at King's Restaurant. We are something to talk about. Thanks for joining. And thank you for joining us here on Something to Talk About. And thank you to the King's crew that came rolling out with the food. One of my favorite lunch partners is Dee Cruz. You're going to see some ugly eating today, and I know that a lot of people actually like to see the eating thing.
They
Hey.
do?
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fine. Not just yesterday. We were eating wings
We
together.
sure were.
But Dee has left the Guam Homeland Security and Office of Civil Defense, and she's been doing like a lot of great. Yeah, you were like, how long were you at Civil Defense? How long were you there? Like 10
About
years?
6.
8 years?
No, 6.
Oh, I want to.
Yeah,
sorry,
you
not
wanna
10.
say
It has to have been within the.
Within the
Because you
administration.
were a big Calvo supporter. I mean, you. Is it safe to say you got the job because of your time?
Well, everybody back in 2010 knew that I really was out there in front for Cabo Tenorio. They saw a lot of me, and at that time, I was almost graduating, so I had a lot of time on my hand. I was going to UOG, and it was a lot going on. And at that time, I really felt that we needed a change, and we were trying to change in the right direction. And I was 110% out there in front with the youth group. And as they got voted into the administration, he became governor and Ray became lieutenant governor, it was at a point where I was still continuing my education. So I didn't graduate until
After they were already in office. So
Absolutely.
this is actually not a political show. This is
No,
really
no.
about how you parlayed, this job based
Right.
on your support into, I think, a lot of training that has gotten you into I think it's a pretty prominent position in
Right.
the world of emergency
Oh,
preparedness.
yeah.
Because you've gone through training. I mean, was that
Yes.
not part of your deal that you wanted to go through?
I love to train. Once I got into, because my background was Marine Corps,
Yeah.
and then I also joined the fire department during the Gutierrez administration.
Oh, did you? I didn't know that.
Yes.
What were you doing? Were
I
you a
was
firefighter?
No, I was a 911 operator. We opened up the Teason
Really? Okay.
E911 office during the Gutierrez administration, and then I went from there. 9/11 hit, and then I went to TSA, and that's how I got my foot in the door with the Federal Department of Homeland Security. But once it started to get to a point where a lot of folks were just asking me after the election, when they come up to me and they're like, "You're not hired yet," that kind of
because they
conversation.
expect you to
They expected
already get
me
the
to
job.
But see, that wasn't my way of entering a position.
But that was, you kind of expected that that was the way it was going to go, right? No?
No. Even though so many politicians and other folks came up to me and really were upset that I didn't have a job, to me, it wasn't about what I did for them.
So loyalty does not translate into employment.
I don't expect anyone to feel obligated if I chose to support them. I don't feel obligated for them to do me a favor. No. What I would like you to do, because I spent so much time supporting you, I want you to do what you said you were going to do.
And that was for the overall,
for the overall island, for your platform, for everything that I believed in. That's what I wanted to happen.
Okay, so let's take the politics out of it.
Okay.
Lest we venture into this dangerous territory during, I couldn't be more far removed from the politics of Guam. Being a journalist, but otherwise, the inner workings of it. So here you are, now in a position where you can pretty much write your own ticket, where the direction that your career was going to go. And so you chose, you were put in civil defense.
Yes.
And then did you not make it part of your resolve that?
I applied for 3 different positions. I applied for a grants manager down at, it was CAHA, and then another one at Department of, it was mental health back then, but behavioral services. I had another position there. But the one I chose was with Homeland, and I'm very grateful.
That was kind of right up your alley, though.
It was awesome. It was right across the street
from my house. Well, it's the whole operation. Yeah. Well, then there's that. But it's the whole operation, though, right? I mean, close to your military service career, preparedness, training. I mean, that's all you Marines do anyway.
I think learning a lot that I've learned in all the different positions that I was put in at Homeland made me realize that emergency management was definitely my calling. But when I started to venture into grants, it opened up a whole new door, an avenue of what I'm capable of doing as part of my community
like
service.
To go find money.
Right. And
for the government of Guam.
No, it's to find money for agencies that utilize federal funding, because I'm a federal grants manager. That's what I got certification for. But even moving to my new job now I'm a classified employee come Tuesday, because I'm on hiatus right now from leaving Homeland. I've got a little break before I go to the Attorney General's office. It's a whole new world out there for me, because I'm no longer on the spotlight of being at Homeland and being, 24/7 on, that fast pace of mentality that you put your mind in. Now I'm at the Attorney General's office, where I'm under a small, one of the many divisions there.
A smaller division, though. What division are you in?
It's a child support division.
That's
child support enforcement.
They'll never get rid of that division. That's one of those divisions where you just sort of manage it.
And I'm sure once I meet everybody in there, I've only met the Deputy Attorney General, but
what are you going to do for them? Right? Look for.
I'm a program coordinator so I'm a grants manager for that division. But once I get in there and meet all those wonderful people, I'm sure the AG's office has got, they've got just a phenomenal place to be. Even after reading about everything because everybody knows once you read about a bunch of stuff in the news, it's always behind closed doors of those people who are making stuff happen. The working bees. Yeah. So I'm very proud to be, or grateful to be a part of that group, and I can't wait. So it's going to be a new chapter, new journey. But people can call me still if there's a typhoon or something in the area. I'm sure I still have my connections.
Then does that leave like a void in the government of somebody who has spent, all of the years that you were in there going to these trainings and finding out about what the latest stuff is?
Sure, like any other agency, and just like police officers, you train an individual to be a SWAT, and that's elite. and then all of a sudden that person decides to leave or gets put into like a different position other than SWAT, then you have to question yourself, what did you do with all that training?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's bought and paid for by federal government, so.
Yeah, but that, you know, I mean, that's, you can't help that. People come and go all the time, and the government invests in that. So, well, I mean, can you apply anything that you learned from Homeland Security to the Attorney General's office?
Of course I can. Program coordinating is just it. You manage your projects or programs, and you learn from ground level on up. So, I think moving in there would be a really great. I think my family's happy. My daughter's ecstatic.
Well, it's going to take. The thing is, it's going to more of an adjustment for you because you were gone all the time for training.
Yes. Now I can actually sit on my couch and watch TV and not have to look at my phone and it going off.
Wondering when the next thing's going to pop off.
Yeah.
We're talking to Dee Cruz. She's just come from Homeland Security and Civil Defense and has got this brand new job with Child Support Services Division over at the Attorney General's office. But you can't take away all of the training that she went through and how that has applied to Guam in the past several years and how we have been alerted to stuff. I want to get some kind of inside information on, you know, what are the dangers in the world when you are talking with some of the leaders in the country that are training for the same sorts of certifications and understanding the nature of a big bad world that wants to go after the United States. We are the big target. You're not going to stop eating, are you? Okay. All right. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.